This is the story of how I set out to paint an awe-inspiring, dramatic view. But instead, I found inspiration in something far more ordinary and, to me, far more meaningful. This painting trip reminded me that paying attention can reveal wonder in the everyday, and how even the most familiar of places can become endlessly inspiring if we just know how and where to look. In this video, I'm taking you with me outside for a week of painting in early summer. In fact, this was a pivotal week that changed the direction of my art this year. It inspired a more personal focus in my paintings, which has led to a new series of work. Sprung from this week painting en plein air, this new series has become my latest solo show titled The Joy of Noticing, which is currently exhibiting in Edinburgh. You'll see the process of researching painting en plein air, through to sketchbooks, into a final painting, and finally to a brand new limited edition fine art print. All the while exploring how the act of drawing or painting itself can shine a new light on the world around us. As is the case with many big projects, they require a lot of energy, and at the end of them, I'm often landed with the cold or flu. Although I'm coming through the other side of it now, I just wanted to mention it and to say that I hope it doesn't detract from the story that I'm about to tell. The story behind this new body of work and this transformational week, this turning point in my paintings, it all started with one cycle ride. I was on my way to the local loch, heading out with the intention to capture the light, the energy, the wider view of water, mountains and sky. To get to this loch, you cycle through country lanes lined with hedgerows. Now, I go to this loch so often to swim, to paint, to sketch, to sit, and I usually cycle to get there. I must have taken this route hundreds, if not thousands of times, and not once have I stopped to notice what was growing on the roadside. For whatever reason, some of the wildflowers caught my eye, so I hopped off my bike, got out my art materials, and started painting. This one decision changed the entire course of the week, which I'd planned to paint by the water's edge. Instead, I sat nestled at the side of the pathway, painting for the entire week, capturing everything that I could that was growing and living and thriving in the summer sunshine. What initially appeared as an understated detail in the landscape quickly became total fascination for me in this week. Studying these wildflowers and hedgerows up close unlocked a whole new host of bright colours, exciting textures and details I had been repeatedly missing by cycling through this section of the landscape. By disregarding my everyday journeys and regular walking paths, I'd unknowingly blocked myself from so much excitement and massively limited my connections and appreciation of home too. By doing something as simple as switching up the scale or perspective at which I looked at my surroundings, actually pausing in the journey rather than at the destination, I've been finding way more inspiration and extraordinary in the ordinary. I know that's all really cheesy to say, but I think I might just be a wee bit cheesy, and that's okay, because such a simple change has really brought so much more energy and magic to my painting process and my day-to-day outlook. When it came to gathering ideas for my next painting, I knew I wanted to find a way to tell this story, the story behind my exhibition title, The Joy of Noticing. After looking through my wildflower paintings, I decided to bring the hedgerows back into a wider landscape scene and play with making the brightness, the looseness, and slight chaos of these hedgerows the focus of my piece in the foreground. I wanted to bring the loch back, into the distance this time, as something softer and secondary, just to give context to where these hedgerows live. For this new series of work, I've been getting so much out of lightly planning my paintings through black and white sketches in my sketchbooks, asking myself, what is the story as I draw? This month in the art club that I run on Patreon, I'll be breaking down my process to sketch with more intention, looking at some simple art principles to make decisions about composition, contrast, value, and narrative, so that we can deliberately capture feeling and focus in our art. You can find that video tutorial over on the Outdoor Sketchbook Collective on Patreon, which will be releasing at the end of October. Through the volume of paintings I've been making this year, I really feel like I've found a comfortable rhythm with the process, which is the same I've been following to create this painting here. Beginning with washes of blocks of colour and layering those up with different tools, movements, variation in colour. Then bringing in loose textures to these spaces for more movement and also to try and break any tightness or control that might have snuck its way into the work. And most importantly, waiting, resisting the temptation to add detail until the very end. I feel like I have been learning this year to dance on the tightrope of finished work, that terrifying word sometimes. To try and not overwork or overtidy or fuss or neaten up. Resisting detail has been a little bit of a lesson in patience, which I feel is really paying off and helping me to make more confident decisions in my marks. If you are painting and falling into that trap of overworking that we definitely all find ourselves in at some point or another, you could try making deliberately unfinished paintings or sketches, or maybe restrain from adding your details or those finishing touches until it is way past comfortable for you. That is definitely something which has been helping me progress with this overworking, so it might be fun to give it a go too. If you're ever feeling lost in your art, a little bit stuck, I really can't recommend slowing down and taking a minute to notice the little understated details of wherever you are. What I've learned from this week is that inspiration really can be found in the small, ordinary moments right in front of us, around us all the time, if we can just take this time to notice it. If you've made it to the end of this video, I'd love to say thank you so much for watching. You can find more videos like this one over on my YouTube channel. And if you're interested in finding out more about this limited edition fine art print, there are only 10 available and some have already sold. You can find out more information down in the video description below. Thank you so much again for watching. Thank you to my wonderful Patreon community for making this YouTube video and channel possible. And as always, I will see you outside.